Hello. Hey guys, I haven't had a video for you in a little while, and I wanted to make one today because I'm so excited about our movie poster projects. They are just so exciting and incredible, and so I wanted to kind of dive in and talk about everything that's good and maybe things that could be improved. So let's do a group critique. All right, so I'm going to put myself out of the way up here. We're going to go to Alex first, because she turned in first. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I'm looking at the wrong assignment. This is our new assignment, which I'm super excited to get into as well. But we've got to do our movie posters first. Okay, so here our first was Jenna. And oh my goodness, Jenna, I think you blew us all away. I don't even know how anyone could say anything else but Lone Wolf. And we're all aware of your thought process along the way, but I don't think any of us really expected this this success, this magnitude of success. I am sure that when your model turned around and you saw that, that gorgeous kind of rhythm of his hair with a subtle profile, and the addition of the cowboy hat and the costuming, just an incredible profile. And then the circle that you came up with works so well with framing your model, and then going black and white in the background with your sky. What a contrast. I mean, it's just gorgeous. And I noticed that the background is more of warm tones, warm grays, whereas your model is more cool grays. And I think that sets it apart even further. Your font that you chose is absolutely perfect. And I love how you differentiated between that and this little bit of text up here, award-winning film, and that makes this text really stand out even further beyond the size. And then down here, I remember you had a few different ideas, if I remember correctly. But it just appears more like flames to me. Correct me if I'm wrong with that, but it really ties in with the whole color story here. I like how you repeated the font choice. I love how you changed up the size, just like a real movie poster. It really is. It's really so successful. And then again, we have the warm and the cool here, but we also have the warm with the base, with that fire. It appears to be fire. And then a more cool red around, our cool hand Luke up here. No, you guys probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But it's an older movie. 50s, I think, maybe. 60s. But yeah, it's pretty perfect. I have to say I haven't received anything more stellar. So Jenna, really high salute, congratulations, everything for this exceptional piece of art. And I think you will go far as a digital artist. Okay, so she's so nonchalant about how she put this together, and I really believe that everyone was in support of you and gave you great feedback and a few questions here and there. So to me, I really don't see how you could go further. It feels complete, so I think that this artwork is ready for your portfolio. And if you have any questions for me, please just let me know. If there's something that you thought of along the way that you're curious about and want feedback on, I am right here for you, and I'm happy to do that. Okay, our next artist is Alex. And Alex really had some very thoughtful, I want to say, fixes for the things she was struggling with. Okay, so she and I had talked about making the headband. I mean, of course, this is the perfect image for her idea. It really just, it was perfect from the get-go. But she was struggling with, I mean, I guess I just made suggestions for her headband and using a lipstick as a gloss rather than, you know, the modern kind of doe foot gloss for those of you who are makeup people. But the ring, and I just, I was really excited about how she combined graphics, drawing with her raster image, you know, the photograph. And I think I find this very successful. I love the title of the movie. It feels very feminine and fun and charismatic, and we just want to know what Jenny is going to be up to in this feature film. So I think it opens a lot of questions. It definitely places us in a certain time period, and I think that Alex was very successful with that. I adore the fine outlining and just the, you know, the fun kind of graphic quality that she's combined here. So this is really vector and raster. The pattern, perfect. It makes it all work together as a color scheme. The colors are very reminiscent of the 60s. I mean, I was only 2 making out of the 60s, but still, I have a lot of memories and awareness of what fashion and, you know, makeup and all of the look of that. So I am really proud of Alex for coming to these really thoughtful solutions to the struggles that she was having, obtaining materials, things like that. And I think that just finding those materials was really probably the easy way out. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that she used graphics and this kind of cartoon illustrative quality in conjunction with a raster image, it just makes the whole idea more fun, even more fun. So And that's what she's saying, cartoon realistic mix, for it to make it more playful. And it's definitely got the 60s vibe. Yeah, I honestly feel like this is a complete work. For me, it is. Very, very minor, subtle changes. Perhaps you could make the color of her lips, or your lips, a little closer to the color that you chose for the lip gloss. But oh my gosh, look at those highlights. Love it. Also, the font that you chose, I think a little bit of variation there would be nice. So your star should really be large, and the director should be somewhat smaller. If you look at those movie examples, the posters that we have been observing, I guess, in preparation for this project, there's things that you could do there, just a little, but honestly, it's so close to perfect. And I'm very, very proud of you. And I think that you got some really good feedback. Yeah, it's got a good vibe. So great comments. And you know, I love this use of pop, as in perhaps pop art, you know, which is also born of the 60s. Okay, and next we've got Abby. Okay, now Abby's whole vision has been decidedly darker. And even the title, the word specter, you know, specter is a ghost, right? It's a ghost. So mysteries and memories goes along very well with that, you know, that theme of ghost. I also really enjoy the dark color palette of everything. I mean, this, you know, this center image feels like kind of ordinary daily life, but by adding the dark palette, and that cloudy sky, and that just feeling of kind of like ominous, you know, an ominous feeling. I love that it feels like you brought out the blue colors in this this hole through the tree that leads us into Spectre, which is apparently a town. And here the character looks fairly normal, but then in this scene she appears to be almost more magical, like almost like wearing a cape rather than ordinary clothes, daily clothes. Her hair is more white. And you know, I know that this is not really part of the concept, but it appears that she has like a scepter, you know, so, and this forest is kind of wildly, it's just like fantasy, more so than this area. And by the way, that framing is just incredible. The image up here, I'm kind of on the fence about, because I can't tell if this expression is happiness or some other kind of dramatic emotion, such as, you know, it could even be crying or sadness. If you see what I mean she's putting her hand up to her face, and it is kind of dark. and goes with the rest of the image, but I feel like the overall meaning is more based on ghosts, idea, mystery, and memory. And so this is like a little bit inconsistent. I mean, it's not like I don't like the image, and I feel like it works overall. You're playing with scale here. We have the smallest figure, and then, things are happening, and then all of a sudden we go to this great big large close-up. And this is just my thought process. I'm not the end-all be-all person to give you feedback or a critique on your work, but in this case, I'm just giving you my honest feedback, my honest feelings, and it just feels like I kind of want a little bit of an explanation for that. So those are my thoughts, and the framing, the layout, the composition, other than that, is pretty spectacular. So I feel like this movie poster is almost there. It's just almost there. Perhaps reducing the scale of this image, so it appears like her face is smaller. It's still a little bit mysterious because we're not exactly sure what her feelings are, her emotions are. So I think it could still work. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Yeah, love it, Abby. And I'm so happy to hear that you've enjoyed it, and that Mariah noticed the sound, not the sound, the sign of coming into town. And that made me look harder, the fact that she noticed that. So I spent more time with the artwork. And fantasy horror, yeah, definitely popular, definitely a great idea. I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more text down here so that we could know who's starring in the film, who's the director, but you do have that little blurb about the, kind of like the summary of the story. So I feel like overall got a little bit more things to think about before it's for your final portfolio. So those are my thoughts. Okay, and then next we have Mariah. Hey Mariah. I think you had some really good thoughts along the way. And the fact that you went into nature, I think, rather than I don't want to say copying, but being inspired by a specific series that you didn't invent. Do you know what I mean? So it's like creating a movie poster for something that was already someone's intellectual property. So that was my early concern. And but now I feel like you have come into your own with the idea of almost like mystical nature, the forest floor. I really like this image, and I like how you did the font and the text. I feel like there shouldn't be so much delineation between, like this is more like a collage. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 images. I feel like you could blend the images a little bit more by softening the edges. Perhaps you could follow, like, say, this line of the arm, and soften that edge so this can really feel more like a part. Also, the color stories kind of vary because this is a really saturated image with the bright greens and the bright blues and the dark figures. And then this image is more muted. So it's good to have contrast. And I think you've done that with your lettering versus your darker image. But I feel like, yeah, there needs to be a little bit more of a blending of the images. And please let me know if I can help you with that, because softening edges with a really, really soft eraser might be really smart. Just to bring it all together. And I love that little peek of your face. I honestly really miss the portrait with your flower crown. I feel like that could have had a place in here. This one, I like the image, but again, it feels separated. And this part, I think you were going with kind of like a whole grid idea by putting the names in this format. And the date, I guess the date of release. And I don't mind that, and I like how it kind of references back to the title. But for me, it feels separated. And that's just me. You know, I can't tell you that I'm aware of everything. I honestly can't. I'm certainly not. I'm not the end-all be-all, of course. So you said you wanted the actors to resemble flying leaves. Yeah, so is the color choice here in the font, is that what you mean by flying leaves? Because I think that the flying leaves idea is a really awesome idea. I mean, if you had your main actor with the letters of their name each in like a leaf shape, that could be incredible. So you said you attempted to curve them in order to do so. So I don't really see that. You went against your design principles. Yeah, I was sad about that. You thought it was too vibrant. Oh, I see. Well, I don't know. You got really great vibrance here. So it's almost like, to me, if you had the crown image here, perhaps you here, becoming one with nature could have led to you becoming like queen of the forest, or I don't know. That's my thought process going through this. Well, fake flowers, sometimes we got to use that kind of thing, and you could always reduce the saturation on those if you feel like it doesn't, the overall image. You could reduce the saturation of those colors on the crown image to make them more a part of the whole. So the forest floor. Yeah, I get why you included that image. So my suggestions are, I could see, honestly, this image being the overall poster, and then perhaps a little soft fade-ins of some other elements with using a soft eraser to bring those in so they're not as prominent. And I believe that this needs to be more of a traditional movie poster kind of format. So those are my thoughts. And, you know, I'm not the artist here. I'm just telling you the things that I feel, making suggestions where I feel like that might work, and hoping that some of them will speak to you. All right, everybody. I really enjoyed seeing our movie posters. This is like a really exciting project for me, and I think that you guys all rose to the challenge. So happy President's Day. Hope some of you got a day off like I did, and please reach out to me if you need me for anything, and I hope to talk to you all soon.